That's the most enthusiastic I will be at the start of any of these live streams. Um, what when I was saying it, I wanted to go like a goal Lazio. And I can say that because nobody is on the stream yet. We've just gone live. Anybody in the UK who is my age and watched Channel 4 would at some point be mortified to have to see, I think it's Football Sunday. No, it was it's Football Italia. And I always had that same intro, which I liked. I liked the intro. I didn't give a shit about the football because there's all these Italian teams I've never heard of. But anyway, we're not doing anything to do with football today. Segue. We are looking at virtual cycling. And this week we have quite a challenging course because it is the UCI World Championship course out in Richmond. So that means we have a very flat start before being served up 3 tasty little climbs. We're only doing 1 lap, so it's pretty short. What is it, like about 16.5 kilometers? However, those climbs are going to make all the difference. We're currently in with the Ds, and the Ds are looking dandy. Look at that. Look at that formation. Beautiful, like a little swarm of bees. But the Ds, not bees. The Ds, yeah. Interesting bike choice. I mean, is that disc wheel good for this period? But gonna probably regret having the disc wheel when it comes to those climbs later on in the course. Let's see if the Ds can actually stay away. How many Ds have we got here in total? Looks like it's about 8. I think it's 8, yeah. And being led by Jane. We're going to hop back and we're going to say hello to the Cs. And here they are. Whoa, there is quite a few Cs. Almost, there's double the amount of Cs. There's got to be about 16, I would say, right about now. So looking pretty good as far as at least the numerical advantage is concerned. And yeah, let's sit with these. Sit with the Ds, Cs for a little bit. See what they're up to. Give it a little bit of time for people to actually join the stream. Let's see, there's too much action. People aren't ready for it. Literally not ready to join the stream and just see all this action happening straight off the bat. So C's looking very good indeed. Considering we've had lower kind of participation rates in the last few weeks, which is understandable. Pretty good to see such a sizable CPAC. If you watched the stream before, then you'll know I normally talk about CPAC being a political broadcast in the US. I'm not going to say that this time. So you have no idea what that is. But yeah, C's seem to be working together pretty well, which is session. And you can hear the crowd. Maybe you can't hear the crowd, but you should be able to hear the crowd on the side of the road. They are screaming such things as, yeah, which will really be getting the riders going, giving them a lot of encouragement in this race. Let me just check my Twitter. Yep, I've got to figure out how to turn that fucking notification off. Anyway, so just heading to the sprint banner. People dropping some power-ups as though they're actually racing for it. They still seem to be keeping together though, which is good. We'll hop back and see how the Bs are doing. Are they going to have the numbers to really compete with the C's? Well, short answer is no. So, lots of English riders out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8. So we've got 8 Ds, about 16 Cs, and then 8 Bs by the looks of things. And I can see that Aaron's not on a TT bike, is he? Surely not. By the way, this is not what Aaron looks like. Aaron does not have a like a top knot, a man bun. Oh no, but that's Kay Parker, who is off the back of the Ace. Oh well, I think Kay Parker has bought a TT bike, which would explain why they are 30 seconds off the back of the group, because it's completely wrong bike. So good to see that Aaron's actually joined by some other riders. That will, yeah, definitely serve him well. Essentially, this course, in a sense, favors the A's because they are going to be the quickest up those short, sharp climbs. The other groups typically will struggle to hold it together on those sections as well, so they'll split up almost without a doubt, and that's obviously going to cause some issues. As with the A's, kind of don't really need to worry about that, and then they can really hit those climbs hard. So whatever the time gaps look like right now, pretty much irrelevant, I think, because the climbs are going to just change everything. So we'll try and keep an idea of a look at what the gaps look like as before we get to the climbs, or when we hit the climbs. Rude leader. Vincent is a rude leader. So not a ride leader, he's a rude leader. That's what Aaron is saying. Pull. So I think he wants the other guys to work. And you can see they are coming through now, so that's good. So there is a bit of cooperation going on, even if that wasn't necessarily like the case before. So sometimes you have to be a little bit bossy, and it works. It definitely works. If you're watching and you are keen to share your thoughts, and oh no, stop surging then. Oh, there's a little bit of back chat in the A's. Not happy. Zegers doesn't want Aaron to surge. Aaron wants the other guys to do pulls. Oh, there is a little bit of a back and forth between the riders and the A's. Don't surge. Don't surge. By the way, if you're riding a Tron bike, at least change the wheels so that they're pink. I'm just saying, it looks shit with the yellow wheels. Or ride a normal bike. Because the normal bikes look normal and Tron bikes, oh, come on, like it's 2023, people still riding Tron bikes. It looks very CV Arcade. Let's see. We'll just stay with the A's just for a little bit, just see how they get on. Is there going to be a little bit more like chit chat between them, or are they going to find a sense of cohesion together, which otherwise was missing? And I can see there's some chat. Roger, I was wondering where you were. You're normally so consistent with joining the stream, and I was like, where is he? Where is he? Hi from the US. Roger, what are you doing in the US? Don't tell me are you in Bent, or are you somewhere else? Seems to be a lot of people in Bent at the moment. Bent, is it Bent or Bend? Bend. I mean, German, at least the difference between a D and a T is quite small. Tell me, Roger, where are you? Family holidays in Florida. Florida, lovely place. Lovely place. I hear so many good things about Florida. I hope you've gone to Disney World. I think that's the only reason to go to Florida, isn't it? Disney World, or is it Disneyland? I don't know which one's which. My dad actually said he would take me there before I was 9, and I am nearly 39, and I'm still waiting. He's still alive, so there is still a possibility he will take me to Disneyland, but I don't know. I'm not a gambling man, but I think it's unlikely. Feel free to place your bets in the chat. We are going to hop forwards. We're going to see what the A's. They are still not really making much inroads by the looks of things on the Bs. Still nearly 3 minutes to the Bs. Remember, for those of you who were here at the beginning of the stream, which is none of the ones who are currently on the stream, it did look like the Ds were about 8 riders, the Cs are about 16 riders, and the Bs are about 8 riders as well. So I think the C's have the numerical advantage. Roger's suggesting I chase my dad. At least now he's I guess he's nearly 80, so I probably can't chase him a lot easier. He'd hate that. He always wanted to race me when I was a kid to show he was faster. So I should chase him, to be honest. But he's like physically chase him. Can't be bothered to actually tell him that he has to take me to Disney World. But the Bs sticking together quite well. They've kept the gap out to the A's. There's still 3 minutes, so that gap's not really coming down. There's a little bit of disunity. Is that, well, you know what I mean. We can say it's a word in amongst the A's. So it's not working out super well then. The gap between the Bs and the Cs looks to be about 1 minute 40. I don't know. When it gets to the climbs, that will be a closable gap. However, the Cs do have the numerical advantage. Now, it really boils down to how well are those Cs going to be able to stay together on the climbs. Typically, we see packs explode on climbs like this. So I think it's very unlikely. But if they do manage to get over the first 2 climbs, they come in rapid succession. Libby Hill's probably going to decimate everything, but we'll see. If they manage to get over that and then get over the next climb, then they have a pretty good chance, because the final climb going up towards the finish line is relatively steady. So if you've got a good gap and you've got a group and you actually work together, then you have a chance. But we have to see. So you see the Bs are currently, they're out on this stretch. It's kind of this long stretch out the back of the map, but it is the stretch which kind of will eventually take them onto the climb. So we're going to jump ahead and let's see, because the C's are a little bit further on, and it must be the D's. Let's just see what the gap is to the D's. 45 seconds. So that's to that rider off the back. So the D's, they're just coming up to this bend. So this is essentially where the climb sort of starts. You will see the numbers tick up a little bit. So it would be like 1 or 2%. In my mind, the climb kind of starts from when you come under this. There's like a bridge. I don't know if it's a railway arch. Never really seen anything coming across it. But I kind of consider the climb to start there properly. So here, and you see it gets to 3-4%. This is pretty much where the climb starts. So this is where we need to be keeping an eye on those numbers, basically. And it will be imperative, especially for the D's, still got a good gap, 1 minute 20, not to go too crazy and really try and stick together on this climb. You can already see there's a couple of riders falling off the back. I did mention early on, I wondered if that disc was going to be a little bit too heavy for these climbs, especially Libby Hill. And it looks like it is going to be. So a couple of those D riders off the back. Actually, our ride leader Jane right at the back, maybe being a very good sport and actually kind of staying at the back to kind of add a bit of encouragement, but does need to be a little bit careful not to get dropped by her own group, because the gaps can really sort of string out. Now look at the time gaps back to the C's. It's down to about 40 seconds now. Obviously, the D's are on the climb and the C's probably aren't there just yet, but that's colossal. Roger's in the chat, Jane, cheering you on, saying, come on, Jane, you got to push this up with your D group. Well, drop the feather power up, perfect timing, but you can see there's 3 other riders up the road. Now, if those other riders, if they are wise, what they would do is actually go up the climb and just sit up a little bit, because they should be able to see that Jane, they'll be able to see Jane, the ride leader, is not too far away, and probably see some of the other dots from the other riders, and make a lot of sense. So 25 seconds. So the C's are right on their tails. That's also a problem, right? Because you are going to have some of these C riders who are going to see the D's on their map, and they'll want to push a bit harder. So that will break up the cohesion that otherwise would have existed up this climb. You can see there's a blob, not in the sense of the woke blob, but the sense of like a blob of riders, and they are sticking together and working together. But there are some of them who have just chipped off the front. Maybe the ones chipping off the front of the woke blob, because they're the ones deciding things for themselves. Nobody knows what the woke blob is, but it's very popular in right-wing media at the moment. Maybe this is it, though. Maybe this is it. So we can see, because I am in the deep end, that's why I can see on my stream the big kind of yellow shaft, as it were. And you can see that just about to go on that descent now with the D's. We're going to hop forward with those D's. I think are those the main? No, there we go. There's still the C's. So here there are the D's. This is where Jane is. There are a couple more D's up the road. Let's just see. They're very sort of fragmented at the moment, though. But good. A little bit of coalescence coming together. Bit easy when you get on these descents. So there's going to be these 5 D riders coming together. Still got a gap of about 30 seconds, 40 seconds. So that's pretty good, actually. So if these D riders can work together, carry that momentum through. So when you come through this corner, you have to like get out of the saddle and really carry that momentum. So this is where like people talk about Zwifts. There is some real racecraft, and it is often about how do you maximize momentum. And a course like Richmond is the perfect one where if you are a good Zwifter, you can basically get a lot of free speed. Where somebody who, even if they have higher power numbers than you, if they don't know what they're doing, they often will they'll end up getting dropped, for example, which is what we saw in the virtual Tour de France, where we saw a lot of pros. They were just crap at Zwifting, even though they have more higher FTPs than most other people. Oh, here you are. Great side angle. As you can just see, here are some of the C's who are just catching the back end of the D's. Sadly, somebody built this house and put it right in the way. But lovely angle there, if I do say so myself, for capturing that moment where the C's. So it's not the D's have not been fully caught. There are some D's still off the front. Very interesting to see if the C's actually realize this, because they might think that's all of them. Of course, that if you look on your sidebar, you'll be able to see. But there you go. So some D's have been caught. To the B's. So this is one lone B rider. Very confused. So I think there is a lone B rider who's caught some C's. Or Or is this B rider in second place? That's very, very confusing. Oh, I hate Swift sometimes. Trying to do race commentary and you have literally no idea who is where. So there's a couple, as I said, there's a couple of these D riders off the front. So there's a little group here which is D's and C's. I can see Jane is in this group, which is great to see. Yeah, sometimes you wish, you know, like in proper road pro bike racing, if you've got a man up the road, you can kind of sit on the front and try and slow things down. That's not possible in Zwift. Really. I wish it was. It would be really cool to try and like sit on the front of a group and try and slow it down on purpose. Because if I was one of the D's in this kind of mix of C's, I would try and slow it down so those other D riders who are off the front could still get away, but not possible, not an option. So we do have one D rider, I believe, who's still up the road. It's not me. Is Hilgerson. I think Hilgerson might, with these power numbers, will probably get upgraded to at least a C. At this point, with these power numbers, I can also see that Tucker is also not far behind. Might is closing this gap as well. Got 6 seconds on this kind of group with the C's. Let's quickly hop back and just see. I mean, it's a little bit all over the road. The B's. This is here's Aaron miles behind. So Aaron's had to drop the other A riders and too far away. I can tell you already. He's sadly not going to have a chance. I think he knows it. I mean, look at those power numbers. He's sat up now. Yeah. So the winner is not going to come from the A's this week. By the way, Aaron chose this course thinking it would give him the best chance. So, fair enough. We're going to try and hop ahead just so we can see the front of the race. Great to see Jane here. Well, here is your Ridley. Here's the front of the race. It is Robbie McEwen. And Corduroy's on. Corduroy is just on the tail. And I can't see what the power up is. So an aero power up and not sprinting. So perfect Corduroy. Corduroy's got the better power up here. Drops the sprint. Well, McEwen's got nothing to give, clearly. No, clear gap there. And it looks like it's going to be Corduroy all the way to the line. Nice one. McEwen is going to come in second. And then it looks like Oliveira, unless Grindod is going to suddenly overtake. I don't think so. Hop back. Hilgerson, who was at the front for quite a while. Oh, Eck, trademarked, is coming over, just sneaking past there. Lovely stuff. And dribs and drabs. Neil's here. Let's give him some kudos before he finishes. Hopefully that kudos will land, so maybe he'll give us a sprint. Oh, he does. He does. Charming. Love it. Jane, fantastic job. Leading the D's. Very close. Very close. Did a lot better than I would have suspected, so that was cool to see. Vincent there. Oh, no, it's T Lamb. Vincent, don't let Lamb get past you. Oh, Vincent. Not Mary Wilkinson. Another one. There are more. Let's hop back and just try and see if we can see Aaron. Let's see. I mean, his numbers are all over the place. I don't know what position he's currently in. Holly's chipped in to say, "Gimme Watts." I don't like Aaron's sunglasses. I'm sorry to say. Sorry, Aaron. Oh, look at this. No, At least fully zip up the jersey. Why did Zwift make the jerseys with the zip undone? Very weird. Very weird. Put it on the list. Right, so Eakins is going to be the last one. I've pretty much, at least who we're going to catch on the stream to come across the line. Eakins. Come on, Eakins. Come on. Come on. That's it now. Bosch over the line. That is it for today. Congrats to Cordery, who got the win at the very last minute. Great catch. For some reason, the other rider who was slightly ahead, Vincent, very unfriendly group ride. Sadly, for some reason, that rider had an aero power up and didn't. For some reason, that rider didn't sprint. I don't know why. Maybe just didn't have it in the legs after those climbs. Hard to say. But it would have been great to see a proper sprint out, to be honest, to really see it come down to the line. But Corduroy dropped the drafting power up perfectly, so was able to kind of sit in the wheel a little bit, kind of ride at lower watts before overtaking and putting in a big dig. So yeah, nicely done. Great to see a rider from the coalition take the win. Corduroy's been doing pretty well week in, week out, so must be, haven't looked at the leaderboard specifically, but must be doing pretty well. I don't know why Aaron's here to say. Aaron's just chipped in to say, can't stay for long, going out for dinner soon. Cool. What are you having for dinner? Is it fried? That's all we want to know. Disappointing race for you. I'm disappointed. Especially, mainly because it was your decision. Steak. That's all he wants is some steak. Fair enough. Steak, chips, a little bit of peppercorn sauce. Love some pepper sauce, honestly. So good. Can't remember last time I had a decent steak. I'm not sure I've had one in Germany. Maybe I have. Not the be all and end all. Okay, well, that's it. Short, sharp, and to the point. Unlucky Aaron, did expect more from you, seeing as I said, you specifically called out this course. But yeah, outnumbered, to be honest. So really big CPAC. So I think it was about 16 riders. So definitely, I think that definitely helped Corduroy as well. My decision, but the group refused to go above 5.5 watts per kilogram. We need to make an A+ group then. That's not going to help you though, I don't think. But yeah, Shada. Hopefully we'll get some more A riders. And it's also your job. You should get out there and try and recruit some more A riders who are going to actually help you. Because the A group is the hardest one to fill. Anyway, thanks for everybody who watched. We are here, not always with the live stream, but the race is happening every single Friday, 8 p.m. CET. I tried to cover it on this live stream as often as I can, but it's not always possible. But it's always lovely when people join in and hop in the chat and tell me how they are enjoying the race. Possibly on Sunday, I will be live streaming a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. It will be on on my Twitch, and also the dojo's YouTube. However, this is the shit thing about being in Germany, because about 20 years behind everywhere else, there's no Wi-Fi at the venue. So we're trying to figure out if we can actually, if we can figure out like a mobile solution, but it's not looking too hot at the moment. So if you are interested in watching some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and if we get really lucky, then I will be live from 10:30 CET on Sunday, only on my Twitch. If it doesn't happen, then Shada. I might try and do a little bit, even if we don't have the proper stream set up. Like, I set up everything, I got all the graphics done and everything. But yeah, fucking Wi-Fi, man. So we'll have to see. Maybe I can actually just like do a quick stream, just like on my phone or something. We'll have to see if that's possible. Otherwise, probably back again next Friday. So everybody have an amazing weekend. Thanks for those of you that tuned in, and have a good one. We will see you soon. And good. Thank you to everybody who raced, and congratulations to those that finished the Chase to the Underground. Always cool to see people racing, especially when the temperature, the thermostat, starts to heat up. So nice one. See you soon.